Welcome to the Hot Seat powered by Affordable Staff. David Judge here, and we're at episode 8 of the 9 episodes in the first season of the Hot Seat that we release every second Tuesday, and where we talk to industry influencers that have worked hands-on in the real estate industry. We find out where these influencers see current and future trends and what you can do about it to support and grow your business. And today's guest is a little bit different. We've invited the GM of operations, Karen Coloso, who operates our office within the Philippines. Now, Karen has actually been a part of our Philippines business for 6 years, is a Filipino herself, and started with us when everybody was working from home and across multiple locations and multiple cities, up to our current office where we employ a fairly large team of people. Now, within Karen's interview, she shares her previous 10 years experience working for a not-for-profit before a brief stint in a call center where she was called an Asian monkey on her first tech support call, the difficulties of working with teams in India, why she thinks it's better not to have an Australian GM full-time working within our office, how you can grow the culture of empowerment so you can go on holiday whenever you want to, and the problem with getting people within the Philippines to understand that we're not actually a call center. Now, Karen is not really known about by our clients, but she actually plays one of the most important roles within the business. And you know what? We're giving you an unedited view of how a business operates within the Philippines. Karen and I have known each other for a long time, since my second daughter was essentially born, and we had a lot of fun recording this, so it's a really, really good interview. Anyway, let's get into it and roll it. Welcome, David here from the Hot Seat, and I have Karen. How are you, Karen?
Hey, yeah, good. Thank you. How are you?
Yeah, I'm good. Thanks for asking. So I've grabbed Karen here. Karen heads up our office over here in the Philippines. Karen's been with us now for
6 years.
6 years. 6 good years.
Wonderful years.
I thought you were going to just say one of them was a good year. The rest were, one of them was a good year.
Mostly,
the first year.
Mostly wonderful years.
Yes. And we're going through and we're talking to people about the industry itself, business as an industry itself. And I thought, why don't we grab Karen? Because she's been with us for such a long time. Karen represents the face of our business over here in the Philippines. The business partners in Australia do visit Australia do visit the Philippines on a fairly regular basis. But Karen's really the person that's here running it on a day-to-day basis.
Yes.
So let's get an idea of your history and why it is you're apparently qualified to be running our business. So tell us a little bit about your history.
Yeah. Okay. So before I joined you, and
yes,
Michael and Evan
and Nadine,
but my background is mainly in administration, accounting, HR.
Yes.
So I was with one company for a long time, for 10 years.
Yes.
And then, after 10 years, I kind of had enough of that.
Do you have any contact with the previous company at all?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
And your old boss?
Yeah. So, I think the last time that I actually visited them was a couple of years ago. I just said, hey, hi, I'm here. So, we were talking. So, how are you doing? Yeah, good. So,
yes.
What are you doing now? I manage a BPO. At that time, it was like 60 people. We have 60 people. They were like,
yeah,
you have more people than us.
That's right.
So it's interesting. But yeah, really good. Still very, very good friends with a lot of the people that I used to work with, and my bosses there. Because I did learn a lot of things. It was 10 years. It was a significant chunk of my life.
Yes.
Because I spent with them, so it was not always good times, but always learned something good out of all that experience. So after 10 years of that, I kind of chilled out for a bit.
Yes.
Chilled out for a bit. And then I actually tried, because when was that? That was 7, 8 years ago. Now 7 years ago. Odesk and all these online jobs,
which is now Upwork.
They were around during the time, but nobody really used them because they were like, what is that?
Yep.
So the notion of online work outside, BPO work or outside call centers during that time was a bit foreign.
Yes, and just so you know, everyone else, or a lot of people in Australia and America and overseas, they were looking, that was the main place they were going to find people as online portals.
Yeah. So I thought I'd try a call center. So I applied who applied in one of the call centers here.
Yes.
With the main...
We won't say names. We won't say names.
We're not going to name names, but with the main objective of moving into HR.
Yes.
Because that's what I did for 10 years. HR and admin, but you can't go directly there. You have to go through... You have to be an agent first.
Through the meat grinder first.
You have to be an agent first, and then you have to excel, because that's like your price at the end of it.
Yes.
They get to pull you out of operations, and then you go into admin and other office work, or where you want to be.
Yes.
So I did that anyway. And I ended up staying there for like 2 months. 1 month in training, and the other month in actual production.
Yes. Tell me about your first call.
The first call, which I didn't realize, I didn't tell David this until yesterday.
Yeah, I know. This is like after 6 years I'm finding this out.
So after 6 years. So my first call was a guy who was very upset about his internet.
Yes.
That he
Didn't you say his name was Cletus?
Cletus from the trailer park? Yeah.
Yes. Sorry, Cletus.
Sorry, Cletus. Yeah, so Cletus. He was some guy in his 60s. He was very upset. And it was my first call, and I had no idea what I was doing because I was doing tech support. I chose tech support.
Yes.
When in the beginning they ask you, do you want customer service or do you want tech support? And I said, tech support must be exciting because it's tech support.
Yes.
It's fun. And I always considered myself as fairly tech savvy, so I chose tech support. And I had no idea that it was going to be cable and internet troubleshooting.
Yes.
This level 2 tech support.
So I know what we're talking. Don't bang the table.
Sorry.
Because it picks up on Ira's edit. Sorry, Ira.
Sorry, Ira.
Yeah, keep going. This is a hot seat. We're not going to edit this out.
Yeah, that's more stuff for you to do.
Yeah, that's right.
Just in case you don't have enough,
Yeah, that's right. So anyway, so we're talking about Cletus from tech support.
Cletus from Texas. So Cletus from Texas. I had no idea how to help him because it was my first day, and really you have no idea what you're doing.
Yes.
And he called me I don't remember exactly, it was either a Filipino monkey or an Asian monkey.
Asian monkey.
Yeah.
Or a Filipino monkey.
One of those.
Fantastic.
Fantastic. It didn't hurt my feelings at all.
Yeah, it would have hurt my feelings. Anyway.
No, it was just... so I did that for a month, and I thought, it's not really working out for me. It's not as much the schedule. The schedule sucks, of course, because you have to be there. Like, the worst schedule I had was like 3 a.m. to 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12 at noon.
3 to 12.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
11 or 12. So, we come from inside the office, which is like this, and it's very cozy.
Yes.
And it's in the blistering sun. And you can't go back to sleep. You can't really sleep because it's mid-noon. I mean, who sleeps at mid-noon?
Yes.
So
and just to
really
be clear,
hot.
I know that Karen, you're light-skinned.
Huh?
You're light-skinned and blonde hair.
Yes.
We went to visit the mayor yesterday, and we had people coming up and saying, "What part of Australia are you from?"
From Bacolod.
Yeah, from
Brisbane.
Yeah, and where's Bacolod, Brisbane? Here in the Philippines.
Yes, in the Philippines. So I have albinism.
Yes.
Which causes me to have fair skin and fair hair and eyes, blue eyes.
Yes.
But every time David and company are here, people always think that I'm one of them.
Yes, that's right.
I said, where are you from?
Does that mean you get charged extra?
Not until I speak the dialect. And then
yes, and then it sort of knocks them off their feet, and it's like, I got an extra discount now.
Extra zero for you.
That's right.
No, extra zero for me, so.
Yeah, okay, so 6 years ago, you started working with us after your Asian monkey experience.
After all that, so I said, it's not the racism that kind of got me. It was just, I didn't feel like I was doing a good job.
Yes.
Because I wasn't, I sucked at it.
Yeah.
I was always at the bottom of the, there are 20 of you in the team, and I would always be at the bottom of it.
Yeah.
No. I didn't feel like I was excelling.
Going to progress in your career.
Sort of.
If you're still there, where would you think you would be now? Do you think you'd be in a HR role, or you think you'd still be at the bottom of the 20?
bottom of the twist. I just couldn't. Well, it's different now. Like, I mean, because I started working with you guys, and I actually understood. I understand now my job before, because I understand how the internet works. I understand how websites work. I understand how servers work. So I get it now. Now that I don't work there anymore.
There are times when you've been challenged, when you've had to ring up because the internet here is fantastic now. But when we first started,
oh my God, yeah.
Did you ever ring up and call anybody an Asian monkey? Did you ever feel like
my fellow Filipino?
Yeah, that's right.
No.
No, of course, Karen would never do that. You're much more responsible than that.
No. But it made me, my short stint in the call center made me realize that, because you always get upset. I realized that the people that are answering the phones, they don't actually know what's going on. I mean, they're there to take information and they pass it on to the technical people who actually do the fix for you. So I always keep that in mind. That they're just there to take the calls. It's not their fault.
Yes, the calls when you're sometimes calling 20 times a day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I tend not to get upset with the people that are, or if I do, I apologize. I really do.
Yeah, really.
I'm so sorry for being upset, but this is just really frustrating. I know that it's not your job.
Yes.
Because I realize that now. Yeah. So that's where I came from, and then I tried Odesk, Upwork. And then I had a few, I interviewed a few times, and then I think during the time I was waiting for 4.
Yeah.
So I had been shortlisted for 4 jobs, and one of them was with you. And the reason that you interviewed me was because...
True story. No, I want you to tell it. It sounds better when you tell it.
Okay. So according to David, the reason why I got an interview was because David thought I was using a fake profile.
Yes,
because,
I did.
Because the photo on my profile is me.
Yes,
I have blonde hair and blue eyes. So
you understand, don't you?
I took that off Google. Just put it there.
Yeah, that's right. I did a Google image search. I remember at the time to see if I could find any matching images.
Yeah.
It was very basic at the time, the ability to do it.
6 years ago. And I had just been on Facebook.
Yes.
For a few years. So I wasn't on the internet back then, so you could really Google me.
That's right.
David invited me on the interview with the intention of telling me off.
Yes, that's right. And then it was like, prove that you are who you are. And yeah, that's right. And yeah, you. Why did you decide to work with us at the time? Because we were like
day shift.
Yeah, day shift. Was that it?
That's it.
I thought it was my charming. Sales skills and getting you to come. Okay, we don't like fakers here.
That was it. Because all the other jobs that I had been shortlisted for were all US based. So.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
All of them.
Yes.
All of them. So I was waiting for a week or a couple of weeks for the results to come back.
Yeah.
I was really hoping for this one, only because it was day shift. I had no idea. I didn't know who you were.
Yeah, that's right. So then you started to work with us. We had another team member. You were a second team member in the Philippines, and we were doing SEO and online marketing at the time. Mm-hmm. So then you started, after a period of time, you started working with our Indian team.
Oh, yeah, that was fun.
Yeah, how'd that go for you?
Not well.
Why not?
It was very challenging.
Yes.
I did that. I can't believe it did that for 2 years.
Yeah.
It was very, very challenging.
And you were in a call center for a much shorter period of time. That's a definition of craziness. No offense to our Indian team, but we started having issues around quality and around working with females. And we're a fairly female-centric business.
Yeah. I didn't realize that.
Really?
At first, I didn't realize that at first.
That was the reason why it was...
Until you brought it up.
Yes. And then you noticed...
Because I thought they were just lazy or whatever. I hold myself to a certain standard.
Yes.
So, it can't be mediocre. You have to always be better than, it has to be good. Yeah, everything has to be excellent. And that's how I've always been. And now I'm working with people who are not at the same
standard of which you hold yourself.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know if that's a bad thing, but I don't think that's a bad thing. It was just bad.
Yes.
It wasn't like my standard was here and then they were here. It was like right there. So it was very, very far. And I was managing that service, that part of the business. I was communicating with clients. That's my name. So that was always the thing that I said, I'm putting my name out there.
Yes.
This, whatever it is that you're doing, I'm putting my name on it. It comes back to me, and I really would rather not have that come back to me.
Especially at the chance of an Australian client coming up and knocking on your door. Karen, this is terrible work.
What is this?
Yes, that's right. No, but I'm exactly the same. I've always held myself to a fairly high standard and expected the same of those around me. And
So that was 3 years of me doing that, of almost daily losing my, with the guys.
Yes.
So I did that for 2 years, and then I passed it on to Steph.
Yes, who's another team member, supervisor in the business, well-established supervisor. Thank you, Steph, if you're watching this, for all you do.
Thank you, Steph.
Yes.
Yeah, so I was very happy to finally be, for that part
of your journey to be over.
To be over. And then we started, building our own team.
Yes.
Here in Bacolod. So.
Our first person in Bacolod, Victoria, and we decided to go there because we wanted to have the consistency in the work that we're doing. Everyone was still working from home at the time, but we figured if they could meet up, we could. Actually, it started because we had a client who on a Sunday night received an email from their received an email first. And it was, thanks for working with me for all these months. My parents have just approved my nose job to go and live in Singapore.
That was a very odd email.
Yeah, it was. And we appreciate everything you've done for us and good luck in the future. Yeah. And then the client rang me on Sunday night and they're like, they didn't say that. It was a lot more harsh than that. What's going on? Why is it? Words than that. Yeah. What's going on? Why don't you tell me about the nose job? And I was like, I had no idea about this nose job, let alone what was going to be going on. So, so that happened. So we decided to go to an office space because of that. And not office space, hire people in the same location. And then we had Victoria who was working with us, and you kept trying to meet up with Victoria.
Yeah, I tried every month.
Every month.
Set up, can we have coffee?
Yes.
On Saturday. And there was always something. There was always a reason that she couldn't go.
Yes.
And then 3 months later, we received another odd email saying,
hey, just had the baby.
Had a baby.
Thank you for all the work that you've been doing for me over all this time. And that's it. I think that's one of the reasons why we started to look at moving to an office space, because we'd reached like 10 employees. Yeah. Wasn't it? It was about 10. And then, but at the time when we had the 10, we started looking at health insurance, and people wouldn't see us as being a serious business because we didn't have enough people. And then, we just continued to open up the office space, continue to grow it, and get it to where we are now. We've just moved offices again. We had one office space. We expanded the office space. We moved to another office space now, which is giving us more capacity again. And we're continuing to grow. Karen handled the most recent renovations that we had on this office. And I guess this is one of the things, isn't it, is that you have enough trust in a person to be able to have them managing a project. There are many times I wanted to come over and not to manage it, but just to be there as support. Because I talked to Karen and I could tell that you were having a challenging day because you weren't saying much.
I had a few mini meltdowns.
Yes. That's why I'm glad I'm here now. And I was thinking if I would have come over, I would have actually been in the way. Yeah. In a lot of ways.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah, because I would have come along and then we'd go, this is a real white man. And then we're going to definitely charge him a lot more. So in that respect, I mean, you did a fantastic job getting everything done. And for us, I think in a lot of ways, people ask us, they say, you know, do you have someone who works like someone from Australia that's here? For us, it hasn't been as important to have a person here. I know that there are other outsourcing companies that do that.
We do. We know a few.
Yeah, that's right.
That do that.
And I mean, how do you find our structure? Like,
because I've always been fairly independent.
yes.
Even when I worked before, I didn't really have a manager. I've never really had a manager. You know, I had people that I report to, but they don't really look at what I'm doing.
Yes.
So, and I've found that that's the best way that I work because, you know, I know I'm accountable for things and I know I can deliver them. Just go away and let me do my job.
Yes.
Which is, you know, that's what I had before and this is what I continue to have now. So, you know, we talk almost every day.
Yeah.
But you're not really, well, it's good that you're not here.
Thanks. No, I think it's because of that good working relationship. If we didn't have the relationship that we had, and I think you and I are very similar in a lot of ways, where, like you said, you hold yourself to a particular standard, and we hold those people that are around us to a particular standard, and all of our staff, we hold them to a particular standard as well, and people that are in positions of responsibility, they all think in a similar way to us.
Yeah, and I'm the same. I'm fairly the same with the way that I manage our support team here.
Yes.
I just you know, I talk to them.
Yes.
Every day and see what's going on, what's going in here, what's our plan here. But they make the decisions.
Yes.
I just get out of the way. I just need to know what's going on, and then, you know, so there's this issue. What do you think we should do? And they say, I think this is the best way to handle it.
Yeah.
Okay, let's go with that.
Our most recent round of visitors that we've had from Australia come through, what sort of feedback have you had from them? Because I mean, I've been doing the same thing. I've been stepping back as much as possible because like people will come over from another country and they will hear from me. You know, it's like, so how does this work? Well, we have the most state of the art. You know, so anything I say isn't really. It's like 60% of the truth. You know what I mean? Like, and it's not. It's honest. It's honest, but you know that they're thinking you're full of crap.
You're making all that up.
Yeah.
So we're gonna check on you.
That's right. So how's the feedback been from?
I think they like the fact that you're not involved.
Yes.
Here. it's not that way. Yeah. I don't mean it like that.
They like the fact that I'm the boss and you're not. No.
No, I mean that that we have a fairly independent operations here. That you don't really like micromanage.
Yes.
Us here, and I don't micromanage. So, because I think the benefit in that is that it empowers the people that you work with.
Yes, and it shows. It shows in those people.
Yeah, and you know, people like Steph and Anna, they are very decisive. They see a problem that needs to be addressed, and then they just...
Yes.
I don't need to be here.
Yeah, and the salesman side of me now will say, of course, we have all the legal agreements in place, and we have all of the safety and the security in place, so that so everyone, we can step back and empower people to do their jobs at the same time. So
yeah, so because for a long time in the past, in the past 6 years, I've always been involved in everything.
Yes.
So there was a time 3 years ago when we opened the office, I did the recruitment.
Yes.
I interviewed everybody.
We did the recruitment first when we were employing people in India.
Yeah, in Odesk.
An Odesk. It was like extracting teeth.
And then you gave all of that to me.
Yeah, it's like, Karen, I have no teeth left. No, yes.
Yeah, so I used to do that. So I used to do recruitment, and then I did onboarding.
Yes.
Training.
Yeah.
Because we had a few people then. Training, supervision.
Yes.
So a lot of the structure that we have now was as a result of many years of doing that. And now that we have that structure in place, I can actually now step back.
Yes.
So we have a joke here around the office. The
Don't know about this.
The guy who said you can actually go on a vacation leave now. I said, yeah.
Yeah, that's right, and that's a true measure.
I can go on holidays now.
I'm the same too. I can go on holidays too if I want to.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's because that's the kind of structure that we have in place here where we empower the people.
Yes.
That
That came
work
from
with
me
us.
first. No, it came from us. It was us.
Yeah, so I can, and the guys are like that. You can go.
Yeah.
Yeah, do you need anything? I have to step out and I have to go on holidays for the weekend. Do you need anything? No.
And I like how we tackle
Got it.
everything. Like we started having issues with things like people sitting down all day and slouching. So we sit and we talk about it, and now we do it like our stretch breaks.
Stretch breaks.
Yes, and our Australian visitors we're doing stretch breaks with us as well.
They like that.
Yeah, how do you think that sort of stuff impacts us as a business?
Because, and we've had this for a few years. Every time we say, people ask us, what are you? What kind of business are you in? So we're an outsourcing company, we're BPO, call center. No. And then you kind of see it in their eyes, like they're short circuit a bit, and they're like, I swear, I've seen it so many times. I've seen it so many times. They're like, you're at a call center? No.
Do you have phones? No.
No.
How do you receive calls? We don't.
Do calls? Yeah.
Twitch.
I swear I've seen it so many times. People are like, they don't know what to make of it.
Yes.
Because in the Philippines, it's always going to be call center. Because that's what the majority of BPOs are.
Yes. So we're disruptors.
A little bit.
That's fantastic, isn't it?
It is fantastic.
So the Pez, positive feedback from our clients, because you've been spending time with them the last week.
I don't think they've ever seen a stretch break before.
Yes.
I think they know about it, but they've never actually seen it, and they don't realize how actually fun that is, and how much that affects you. When after working for a few hours, get up and just stretch. It just it refreshes you.
Yes.
And I think that what that shows is that we're not here looking at what you do, poking you with the hey, what are you doing now? What are you doing now?
Cattle prod.
Yeah.
Do you know what a cattle prod is?
Yeah, I just said yes, but no. I don't know.
I don't think so. So it's a prod with a electronic. It has like a zapper on the end, and you poke cows.
Like a taser.
Yeah, like a taser.
Like a taser.
Taser for cows.
Cows, yeah. Okay. Yeah. I know.
Yeah, and it helps to move them along.
I think they appreciate that. And
Yes.
I think they appreciate that. That's the kind of culture that we have here. That we think about how our team here goes about their day.
Yes.
That they're not just there, sit down and do work. all day
Cattle.
naked.
There.
Yeah. So I think they appreciate that.
Yeah.
They appreciate that fact that we do that.
Yeah, and I think so. It's always been I think that's something that you and I have always focused on, along with Eva and Nadine as well. It's always been an important part of our culture and what we're doing. How do you see as an industry, outsourcing industry, what challenges do you think we're going to be facing in the future?
Competition, because they can see what we're doing,
Yes.
what we have done, and they will realize sooner rather than later. That
Ira just told me I had to sit up, by the way. This is live. This is unedited. Thank you, Ira.
yeah, and that they will realize that this might actually be a good thing.
Yes.
And I don't know. I don't really know if it all depends on what their main goal is. If their main goal is to make a lot of money, then this is not for them.
Yes.
It's actually not for them.
Oh, you can not make a lot of money, but you can do it. Establish something solid over a period of time. But I think if your main focus is,
It's going to take a lot of work, though,
Yes.
for you to get there.
yes,
Because what we've always done is that we started with 10 people, then we grew slowly.
yes,
And you can't make a lot of money doing that. You have to, in your first year, you have to grow from 10 to like 500. That's how you make money.
so I'm driving a 40-year-old car. I'm living with my mum. No.
But if you grow slowly, then the returns also
Yes.
slowly. So I don't know. I don't know if they'd be interested in that. Probably not. Again, it all depends on what your end goal is.
Do you think automation could be a problem for us in the future?
I think so. It's starting to kind of creep in industry.
Yes.
At the moment, because I read an article stating that they're actually starting to push that, develop that. But there's always going to be a human component of it that you can't replace.
Yes.
And that is what we're going to be focusing on. There's always going to be something.
And people, I was sitting there and I was talking to a guy, interestingly, who said he was very successful and parked his car about 10 blocks away, which always indicates he's not. But anyway, his old car and his mum's car. And he was showing me the software that you can use. We have like a keyboard and each letter on the key represents a word. And people would dial in and you'd say, hello, how are you today? But I can see a lot of the clients that we're working with, automation will have an impact, but they use us because of the human element.
Yeah. And that's what I was thinking, because our clients at the moment, a lot of the tasks that they outsource to us machines can't really do.
Because they're interpretive tasks.
Yeah. Because you actually have to think about what to do next. So it's not, step one, get the paper.
Yeah.
Step two, put the paper over here. So it's not really that. It's
even voice transcription services. We saw that ad that was sent through to us. And it was like, work-life balance, and it's voice transcription. I can see you could automate that. To an extent, as long as...
I think so.
Yeah.
I think so. With Siri can do that.
Yeah, well, that's right. Siri, that doesn't work. Please, Apple, fix no. But, I can see how you can automate things like that. But a lot of the interpretive tasks that we have our clients doing, I couldn't see that necessarily happening. What other changes do you think you can see happening for our industry in the future? Because, I'm in Australia, I'm seeing it from one side and we haven't spoken about it. So it's going to be interesting. Other changes you can see.
Technology.
You're hoping what?
Technology
and continuing to improve. Well, it's changed. Look at a year ago, we were getting disgusting issues with internet and now to the office, 300 up, down.
Yes. Oh, man. So for the first 2 years.
Yes.
The internet was very, very challenging.
Yes. And we had multiple internet connections.
Yeah. And then up until about a year ago? No, it was even less than a year ago.
Just under a year ago, something happened.
Something happened and the internet was just glorious.
Yes.
This is actually happening in the Philippines right now.
Yes. Ira, insert snapshot of up, down internet speeds from my phone that I took the other day.
350 up.
Yes, that's right. It's fantastic. It's really changed. Any other changes?
And so we haven't really had any issues with the internet. So yeah.
Yes. Touch wood.
Oh, this is plastic.
Yeah. That's why I touch my head.
Touch plastic.
Yeah.
Changes, I think, and I'm really hoping for this, that people will become more familiar with what we do.
Yes.
And how we are different. And I've seen that change in the past 5 years, 4 years, 5 years. Because before, when we recruited before, what I would do, we'd have this regular meetups.
Yes.
Because I have to explain what we do, because it's just, I get that, I get the question every single day from many, many people, what do you do? Are you a call center? No, so what do you do? And then the short circuit.
The Twitch.
So I thought, you know what? I'm just going to gather as many people as I can, sit down and explain it to you. It just works better than actually on my phone explaining it to people who ask. It gets exhausting.
Maybe we should have business cards to hand out to people that demonstrate. Little business card, here, look, take this, read it. And then they flip it over and it says Amway. Oh no, not again. Anyway.
Or in the case of the Philippines, front row.
The Philippines what?
In our case, it's front row. It's not Amway.
It's called front row.
Yeah.
Really?
I mean, yeah.
Same deal?
It's a
multi-level marketing. Yeah.
Front row.
Yeah. It's like, damn it, front row again.
Sorry.
Yeah. There you go. Can we bleep that out each time we say that word? Okay, cool. So that's really the changes you can see. Where do you see yourself going? I'm going to wrap this up in a minute.
Yeah.
So where do you see yourself going?
On holiday.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you. That was great. No. On holiday.
I need a vacation.
Yeah. Karen needs a vacation.
Seriously.
All right. Can we surprise Karen with a vacation? Yeah. It'll be a taxi to home. 3 days off, all paid expenses of takeaway meals. No.
You'll pay my cable for three
That's
days.
Right. That's right.
Netflix.
Yes. Within the business, where do you see yourself going? I mean, obviously, the sky's the limit?
Yeah.
Yeah. Right answer.
That was not rehearsed.
Yes, that's right. As an insight, how do you think people in the Philippines perceive Australians?
We're not familiar with Australians.
No, that's right.
We're familiar with Americans.
Yes.
And that's why we talk like them.
Yes.
Because that's what we see. We see American films, we see American TV series. So we grew up with America. America's the big white brother.
Yes.
And we're the little brown brothers, I guess. So we're very unfamiliar with you guys. So when you go around, you ask what people here, what do you think of Australians? I don't know, I've never met an Australian.
Yeah, I remember I called a taxi and they said, where are you from? And I said, Australia. And they said, what part of America is that?
Exactly. We're just not familiar with you guys.
Yeah.
But for us who have worked with, us and, everybody in the business, they'd say, you are not like Americans.
Yeah. We're still loud.
In a good way.
Yes, in a good way.
In a good way.
Yeah.
Americans are different loud.
Yeah, you're being very careful with what you say, aren't you?
I know.
Okay, well...
I'm just going to stop right there.
Is there anything else
we like you guys.
Yeah.
We like you very, very much.
Yes.
We also like Americans.
Yes.
We like you guys too.
We like everybody. Everybody's included.
We love
That's
everybody.
right.
We're very inclusive.
That's right. Except for those, no.
except for Cletus, who called me an Asian monkey.
Yes, which is fair enough. Anything else you wanted to add, Karen? You wanted to say how good I am to work with?
David is great to work with.
Liar.
David is great to work with.
Well, thank you very much, Karen. I mean, I hope this has given everybody a bit of an insight into who you are, where you've come from, a little bit about the Philippines itself. We would have, I'd say, inserted B-roll footage as we're going through of different things of the Philippines as we've been talking to reinforce our points. Beaches and all that sort of stuff. And okay, holiday. I'm going to ask this question, then we'll wrap up.
Oh, okay.
You're going to go on a holiday yes. Of your choice, anywhere. Where is it?
I haven't really thought about that.
You've been working so hard.
I know. Now now that you've put me on the spot, I can't think of anything. I'd be happy just chilling at home. Seriously.
Yeah.
And just spending time with my cats. I have 4 cats.
The correct answer was supposed to be Australia. We'll get you there eventually.
Eventually. So the plan, apparently, is that I go to Australia.
Yes.
I go to Sydney first.
Yes.
Then I go to Brisbane. And go to Melbourne.
Why Sydney?
Huh?
Why Sydney?
Family.
Oh, okay. Okay, because I thought you were going to go. Where did Steph stay? Bougainville. You're going to go to Bougainville first.
Why not?
Yeah, and then
why not?
Yeah.
Cletus might be there.
Yeah, that's right.
Sydney, Sydney, Brisbane, Melbourne, and then apparently I'm going to Japan.
Yes.
To see the cherry blossoms.
Oh.
I hear they're lovely.
When's that? That's next
March.
Next March. Okay.
I have to save up.
Let's work around that.
Yeah, I have to save up. Now that I'm thinking about it, it's going to take a lot of money to do that.
Yes.
Anyway, and then go to Korea, South Korea, or maybe North Korea, not that they're friends.
There might be then.
Yeah, why not? There might be some interesting places in North Korea we don't know about.
They've removed the speaker systems apparently that blurt sounds from. Yeah,
they're cool again, so that's good. And then Vietnam for some reason.
Yes. Oh, really? That's all been pre-planned. One of our clients has pre-planned your entire...
Yeah, Dot has planned my entire holiday for next year.
There you go. Fantastic. It involves extended time with Dot.
Yes.
It's a 30-minute allocated
Dot
visit time with us.
Apparently mud crabs and like really, really large prawns.
Yes. Is there ever anything about Australia on TV in the Philippines?
Not really. On cable.
Yeah?
Bondi Vet.
Bondi Vet. What's that guy's name?
I
Chris
like
Brown.
him.
What's his name? Chris Brown. Yeah, nobody likes him in Australia.
I like him.
He's far too handsome.
Yeah, that's why I like him. He is very handsome.
And I'm actually looking at my questions for the first time.
So you were wrapping up. Let's wrap up.
Yeah, we're wrapping up. As we do wrap up, what advice would you give to people that are looking at outsourcing overseas, aside from do it?
Are you talking about clients?
Why not? Clients.
Yeah. Give it a try. I know that especially for Australia, it's not a done thing yet.
Yes.
I know in America it is because of a lot of call centers. But from what we've gathered from some of our clients that haven't worked with outsourced personnel before, that they're really, really scared. So at times they're more scared to do the first day than their team here.
Yes.
They're actually more nervous to do it.
Yes.
Because they've just never done it before. And for us, it's kind of done it before.
Yeah.
We're familiar with it. So, we're a bit more comfortable during the first day than the clients that have never done it before. But if you do know people or other businesses who have done outsourcing, go talk to them. You'll get really good, you get the good side of it and the bad side of it, and encourage you to hear both, not just the good side. Don't be swayed by all the just good
all the stuff
stories.
You hear.
Yeah. Hear all the stories.
Yes, subjective.
Yeah, and be subjective, and take all that information and see if that will work for your business, because it may not. And we're not going to go out there and force you to do it.
Yes.
If it's not going to work for your business, but if you think that it's a good fit for your business, then try it out.
Thank you very much for underselling it. No, that's it. Okay, well, great. Thank you, Karen. I appreciate your time. I know you're an exceptionally busy person, even though I sort of forced you to be here.
I know.
And thank you for being on the hot seat.
Thank you.
Excellent. Thanks, guys. Thank you for listening to this episode with Karen. And before you go, I'd ask if you enjoyed this episode that you subscribe to our podcast, which you can find if you search for The Hot Seat wherever you listen to podcasts, and leave a review, as they really count. I also wanted to remind you that The Hot Seat is powered by affordable staff, and I'm not 100% honest, we could not put together The Hot Seat without outsourcing every component. I literally sit here and I record this footage that I'm recording now, along with the interviews and the audio, and I send it over to our Philippines office and they do the rest. So I'm talking about creating the pages, doing all the graphics, doing all the different components of it, posting it across to a podcast, which I had to do once and I found incredibly difficult. So you know what? I really want to say a special thank you to our team, especially Ira. Okay, great. Thank you again for listening to The Hot Seat, and I look forward to sharing with the last episode of the first season. Okay, talk soon.